Namaskar. Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji, the founder of Naranasrama Tapovanam and visionary behind global Bhagavad Gita conventions. Swami Nirveshananda Tirthaji of Naranasrama Tapovanam, Honorable Mrs. Justice Indira Banerjee of Supreme Court of India, Swamini Ma Gurupriyaji of Naranasrama Tapovanam, Sri Pankaj Bhatia, President, Center for Inner Resources Development, North America, co-convener of all 5 global Bhagavad Gita conventions, Dr. Ravi Janjala, Vice President of Center for Inner Resources Development, North America. Sisters and brothers, I am indeed very happy to participate in the 5th edition of the Global Bhagavad Gita Convention. I am pleased to note the Center for Inner Resources Development, North America, USA-based institution is organizing this convention, highlighting the global presence and recognition of our ethos and culture. My humble respects to Puja Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji, who is the inspiration and driving force behind this annual event. My dear sisters and brothers, the dialogue between Arjuna and his revered friend, philosopher and guide, Bhagavan Sri Krishna on the plains of Kurukshetra is one of the eternal relevance. The gifted and wise Arjuna, who spent the better part of his life perfecting skills and the strategies required for the battlefield, is confronted with the crippling self-doubt on the first day of the great Mahabharata war. Arjuna's sense of despondency arises from the fact that he sees his own kith and kin, his very own loving teachers and venerable elders as part of the opposing army. As he surveys the army of the adversary, his mind throws up doubts about the futility of the war that would annihilate his own relatives and people. Such is his despair that he loses all interest in the imminent battle and wishes to turn back. That is when Sri Krishna, the charioteer and the guide by his side, counsels him and painstakingly answer each and every question, clears all doubts and concern that rises in Arjuna's mind. Sri Krishna's lucid insight and perspectives enable Arjuna to shed his indecisiveness. After bouncing back into a state of effective performance, casting aside doubts thrown up by his mind, Arjuna is able to move boldly ahead in the discharge of his dharmic duties. Sisters and brothers, although the message of the Bhagavad Gita is thousands of years old, it can never lose its currency or its importance. It is eternal that way. It remains a source of perennial guidance and inspiration to people. Today, more than ever, in a complex and interconnected world, the timeless message of Bhagavad Gita remains relevant as people face numerous challenges and obstacles in their lives. During a crisis, books such as the Bhagavad Gita provide guidance and help in restoring mental peace. They serve as a fountainhead of strength and faith and shows us the way forward in difficult times. My dear sisters and brothers, in the wake of the unprecedented disruption caused by the COVID pandemic in the lives of people across the globe, I find the theme of mental harmony for this convention to be very apt and timely. Mental harmony is an essential prerequisite for overcoming the stress and distress caused by the pandemic. Unfortunately, mental stress is increasingly becoming an all-pervading phenomena in modern times. Therefore, there is an imperative need to bestow greater attention by all stakeholders on this critical health issue. A reputed health journal had reported recently, some years ago, of course, that in 1 in 7 Indians is a mental severity. Reports also show there is a huge treatment gap in getting to health in India. Despite the prevalence of health like depression, awareness about mental health remains low. To make matters worse, unfortunately, there is a great deal of stigma associated with this. It is not surprising that pandemic too impacted the mental well-being of the people. I am happy to note that the recent announcement by the central government to launch a national tele-mental health program to provide 24/7 free counseling and care to people. This is an important step towards ensuring the mental well-being of people, especially those living in remote areas, while ensuring their anonymity. Sisters and brothers, we need to accord high priority to address all issues relating to mental health in a holistic manner. At the same time, it is equally important to create awareness to eradicate the stigma associated with this. More than anything else, we must be willing to have public conversations about the importance of mental health. Popular figures from all fields in particular must talk and raise awareness among people in this important public health issue. The sages, the gurus, they must guide the society because people have respect and also confidence in the discourses of the sages. We must also introduce an element of course correction in our lifestyle. We need to step back from the pressure caused by modern life and ensure a work-life balance for people's well-being. It is now known the measures like meditation, undertaking regular exercise, practicing yoga, or listening to music act as stress busters and help in relieving tension. In fact, they make our minds sprightly and active. Friends, it pains me to see instances of youngsters, particularly students, ending their lives unable to cope up with the stress caused by the pressures of studies. This is where the role of parents and teachers, gurus, become critical. They must play a proactive role in counseling students who are unable to cope up with academic pressure. In fact, every education institution must have in-house counselors to help students overcome stressful situations. Governments everywhere must ensure compliance of this requirement. Students must be motivated to face any adversity fearlessly and do their duty diligently without worrying about the result. This is the essence of the Upadesha given by Lord Sri Krishna to Arjuna in the battlefield. We must imbibe the essence of Lord Krishna's message and integrate it into our lives. I firmly believe that spirituality is essential to discover one's inner strength and mental peace. In this regard, I urge religious leaders to take the message of spirituality to the youth and masses. I commend Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji and others for trying to spread the message of the Bhagavad Gita and stressing the importance of mental harmony through this convention. Sisters and brothers, last I wish to state that the distilled wisdom of Bhagavad Gita is for the benefit of entire humanity, and effort should be made to translate the message into as many languages as possible so as to enhance the reach of this seminal work. We have always shared our civilizational knowledges with the world, and we must continue to do so. They often say share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. I am happy to see organizations such as CIRD-NA and Global Bhagavad Gita Convention embodying this philosophy and striving hard to expose global audience to these treasures. Bhagavad Gita is a treasure. Once again, I am very happy to have been part of this convention. I wish the 5th edition of the Global Bhagavad Gita Convention all success. I am confident that the enlightened deliberations during the next 3 days will enlighten, educate, empower, and inspire everyone to seek inner peace, which is the need of the time. We must reduce our tensions by paying attention to these scriptures, to these preachings and teachings of revered gurus, and also take inspiration from the great Bhagavad Gita, and also read Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these our epics, and will make you to get more enlightened, peaceful, so that you can live a happy life. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.